Your dreams have to be brought up to a certain level. Because your dreams are also embedded in the past experience, and so we're talking about memories and dreams being very similar, and it's kind of like more or less more of the same. And sometimes our dreams are full of fears, and you can't be meditating on fears in the form of dreams and think that that's real, because that's what you experience. Your experience is not who you are. Your experience is what you experience. To know better what it is that you are beyond that experience of what you're dreaming, which in this case may be too much of the past recreated in a certain way, that distracts you to thinking about certain possibilities relative to what could be and what could not be, your future. And so when we're talking about the creative element in this mix of, let's say, possibilities, the creative is always moving forward. The creative's wanting to change the way it was, completely, radically. See, uproot it. Say, no, it can't be the way it was, because it needs to be the way it needs to be now. See, where it needs to be. See, so it's looking forward to the possibility of being more than this pain and agony and anguish of the past, and the ignorance of the past, and the stupidity of the past, and the darkness of the past. You need to really recreate from the inside out, a new continuum. See, everyone, not just one person, not just you personally, but everyone. See, in this life, see, everyone who hears this should understand their responsibility to the creative forces, the spiritual forces, to create a new continuum for yourself and for the peeps around you. When you create this new continuum for yourself, you are affecting to the better, for the better, the people who are around you and related to you as part of your matrix of associations and relations. See? And you are obligated to them. If you are being touched by the light of what's happening here, then you need to do better. You need to be more responsible to the light. Say, yeah, I know the darkness, I've been the darkness, now I need to be the light, and I know that very much. So you start to be the light. See, you can be. See? So you have to be the darkness that you've already been too well acquainted with and familiar with and a part of relative to your past. See? You can't be that. Well, you can slip back into it, see, because it's present. You can slip back into anything because it's all present. See? But do you have the heart to move forward and rise yourself, lift yourself up to a higher level of continuum, so that there's a new continuum you can't fall down from? Say, no, this is a new continuum. This is a new level. You stepped up. Say, no, I'm on this step now. I'm not on what I was. I'm on this step, and I'm going to take another step forward. Can you be that for yourself and for your people? Yeah. Comments or questions? Now that this post-sacred knowing of its conversation has begun.
Can you talk a little bit more about future dreams?
Create future dreams. Create them. See? You're in a position right now to create future dreams. What do you see yourself becoming? What do you know you need to be in the future? See, if we're talking about enlightenment, that's a pretty big picture. See, where you're at peace with yourself. You have to envision that sometimes. In other words, you have to give yourself the benefit of the doubt relative to your past karma and your river of blood, let's say, control programs that would have you looking back at your ancestors for what? Light and life? Were they that high and mighty that you need to look to them for light and life? So, were they that up on the scale of spiritual evolution where you need to look to them? Maybe in some cases relative to the Freemasonry. Maybe. But then beyond that, what do you have to look up to? Yeah. Since you don't have a clear understanding of what their suffering was exactly. But you know they were Freemasons, so you know that they aspired and had ambition to be masters, architects, see. And that's a step up, for sure. Does it mean they were enlightened? You can't know for sure, except become enlightened yourself, see. To be full of delight yourself. And come to the, let's say, conclusion that you are done with darkness as it was. That this is a new day, this is a new dawn for you. See? A new light for you. Say, no, I've done that, I'm done, I'm dead to that. I'm now alive to this vision. See? Of the new continuum. See? At last. And at first, the new continuum now. First that. Yeah. 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 That's like being infused with the Spirit. See? A possibility. Yeah.
When the teacher starts to show up in one's dreams, is that considered positive or
can be.
auspicious
Depends
sign?
on what. That depends on what you make of it. So if you know you're walking with a teacher, depending on what the teacher is to you, of course, if it's like a walking, let's say, associate, and moving forward, like walking, let's say, upwards and forward, then of course that could be a continuation of what it is, see, in the physical, see, carried over into the dream, the astral, and to great benefit to you, see, positive, so that you don't have a gap. See. So what we do here, we do in the dream world, which is just what I was saying earlier. This is the dream you need to be paying attention to. The now dream, the real dream, is what's happening now. And using this, as I said earlier, for the creation of the new continuum, to not have to regress and fall back into the way it was when we have an opportunity to now be the way it needs to be, the way it will be because of the way it actually is now, see, to be.
Could a future dream show up as a warning of sorts?
Depends, because you're always being threatened. Everybody's being threatened by all kinds of things, see. To be, let's say, taken out or be knocked off course. There are all kinds of distracting, contradictory forces. We're in the universe, so you have to expect that. It's not just a clear highway until your mind is fixed, until your mind is liberated, delivered from the woes of the material. And we have to understand that that is not a theory. That's destiny for a son. And you need to know that that could be your destiny. And you want to align yourself with that which is so. The spiritual destiny of the light and only the light, not in religious terms, but in real terms. See, the light as the light, see, as it is. Not as described by others, but as you see it in the present, as you know it and feel it for yourself, that light, the light of your own knowing, the light of your own being, the light of your own awakening. See?
So you're saying then that a dream could show up to prepare somebody.
This is the dream, lady. This is the dream you're having right now, which is your warning. This is the dream. This is the real dream and the real warning right now for you. This is it. You talk about it, but you're not being in the present reality with it enough to see that this is the dream. This is the waking dream you are willing to have with yourself right now. And have me speak to you in these terms as part of the waking dream and part of the awakenment. See, beyond the dream of the past into the dream of, let's say, the potential of spiritual reality itself, which is timeless, which is ever present and always what it is, see, for those who have access to the eternal in those terms. And in that way, see, the timeless, see. The is. So you're willing to be in your own real dream? It's a good question. So this can be a pivotal point for you in terms of how you deal with this issue and this karma as time goes by. Are you willing to be in the present dream of reality beyond your past as suffering? Are you willing to be in the dream that is of your enlightenment beyond suffering? Who created that if not you? Who needs that if not you? Who has desired that if not you? Since you're having it right now, you desire the teacher, you desire this moment, and you're having it fulfilled right in your face, presently, 100%. What could be more perfect than that? Right? You're conscious of a dream that you're awakened in right now. A waking dream. Let's say of a master of Dharma that is keeping you in the present and refusing because it's unable to be in the past or any other time but the now. See? So now you're having a dream of reality. You're having a dream of being in the company of timelessness. That's consciousness. That's not a bad dream. That's a good one. As far as dreams go, that's a pretty high dream. Being in the present of timelessness. See, in the empty fullness of timelessness. See, awakened and dreaming. See, a being here now, at peace.
What are your thoughts about recurring dreams or nightmares? Should people pay attention to them?
Well, how much more attention do you need to be paying to a broken record, so to speak? Right? Broken record, mind forms. See, repeating darknesses in a broken record manner. See, how much of that do you need to pay attention to? When you know it's you not letting go of what should be let go of already, which should have been thrown away a long time ago. Right? It's that simple. Let it go. Drop it. Be in the present. Do you have the heart to do that? Do you have the mind to think about it? Do you have the heart to be that? Don't think about it. Listen, but don't think about it. Go ahead.
Is it common for someone who's trying to work on or cut through their river of blood tendencies as they progress for their dreams to become more intense?
In what way?
Like as in
You
more,
mean as a
more
reaction?
revealing.
You mean as a reaction to what you're doing? Are you talking about the reactions your blood would have if you were to defy and go beyond what is their limitations might be or expectations are? Well, of course, there is that. The positive draws the negative, and then there are reactions here, there, and wherever. But the positive is the positive, and you have to see that. It's more than just a concept. There is the positive. That has no, let's say, opposite. There is no retribution. There is no reaction. All of these things are seen beyond, they're seen through. There only is what is. Beyond forms of things that appear to be and disappear. So here there's no light really in terms of darkness, and there's no darkness in terms of light. It just is. See, clear. Clear, light. No ghosts, no shadows, just light. Outshining everything else that could show up.
Does mixing with somebody sexually have an effect on someone's dreams?
Of course. Huge effect upon Because mixing in the way that you're talking about in terms of sexual mixing is an entanglement of forces that go down to the primordial, to the core essence of your line, see, your lineage, see, and your ancestors, and your desires, and its desires, see, and its needs, see, and all of that. So yes, there can be that in everyone's case, but then you have to be beyond that, because you're not time, and we're talking about time, and we're talking about earth, and we're not only that, see, we are spirit.
So could you start like dreaming somebody else's dreams or
taking on someone else's karma? Absolutely, that's what it is. You share everything. Dreams, nightmares, chemistry, illnesses, see, darknesses, all of that is shared. But who knows that? Who knows what is coming up years later after you had an encounter with somebody? Who knows what was passed over to you? You don't know. See? Until you know. See? So when you open, you are opening to much more than you are able to know.
So the effect can be long-lasting.
It can be devastating in some cases. It's just that the effect can be liberating, depending on what it is. So darkness, you want to start getting away from darkness and justifying darkness as a way of thinking. You have to abandon that. Practice. It's called bad practice in a sense. Yeah. Being preoccupied with your past as darkness is a bad practice. That's what stands in the way of getting beyond it. Okay. So don't be your worst enemy. Be your best friend. Lift yourself up to the next continuum. Okay. If you can do that.